Now that we have developed the first site plan, we're going to go a little bit advanced and define other things within the given site plan, such as the hardscape area, the grass area, maybe some of these plants, so that we can see how much more of the details we can get in site plan. The uh, the possibilities are endless, right? So we're just going to do some of these as we continue to develop this project with this property. Now, to do anything more than what you see, which is the default, you go to the layers option, right? So we go on the layers, and for this exercise, what we are going to do is we are going to enable the hardscape, tree trunk, tree drip lines, lawn and grass, right? Low vegetation. Let's just enable them all so we can go through them. And we just leave it at that. These are the existing conditions on the ground that we might want to have in our plans, and just go from there. Maybe a solar panel, if they have a solar panel on the project. And then we're going to talk about the other options. So let's go see what it looks like. Now you're seeing the fact that it had the artificial intelligence has recognized a bunch of objects on the ground, right? Now you see that even beyond the property, he has recognized a bunch of the objects, right? Which is fine. It doesn't bother us. Now, the recognition technology uses the imagery and an LLM to find out what makes sense. It's not 100% accurate. It is to help you focus and do things that you want to do to the project. So, for example, we are going to look at this hardscape, right? Area here. So you found this area, you found a bunch of this area, but maybe in our project plan, all I want to do is highlight the driveway and this hardscape area here. Now that it's recognized it, I can click on it once, just like any object, click on it twice, and adjust all of these things, right? I could. If maybe it's a big project, a big driveway, I can do that. Or now that it is enabled, it is up here, I can simply just delete it and create one on my own. So now I see there's hardscape here and so forth. So I'm going to delete these and let's talk about the hardscape. So I will zoom in. Looks like this hardscape comes from here and goes out through. Before we do that, it looks like we should correct this grass recognition, right? There's grass here. It doesn't look that green. It's California after all. But what we do is let's adjust this one so I can see how it's adjusted. I click once, the whole thing, I can move it around, right? The whole thing. Or I click twice and I get all the different options. I can then basically select an option and I put that one here, put that one there, right? And I can basically create the areas that I want. And you notice that as I drag one, there is a little button that's pushed in here. I can basically put that, another one. I can basically bring that out to here. And if I want to, I can right click and delete any of them and then bring it down here and bring this one out here. And I'm going to bring this one out here and so forth, and basically create my site plan as I wish to, right? Basically, highlight my green area. Now, sometimes it's important to know the total square footage, and to do that, all you have to do in the layers on the ones that you have selected or the ones that you want, select to also show the label and area. I'm going to just enable all these so we can see all of those as well, right? So these are selectively added in as you wish. Now you notice that it says bigger lawn, because there's other lawn up here, small lawn, is 782 square foot. It is actually measuring it as you see it. I can click on it, and remember when I click on it, it comes on a selected, and I can say front yard lawn, right? And it becomes front lawn lawn. Now, this one here, maybe I don't want it. This is like a little plant that we saw. I just delete that out. And I believe it looks like there is grass underneath this, so I'm going to click once and twice. I just adjust these. And remember, I could always draw this out, but you get the idea how it works, right? Now let's do some cleanups before we define further, right? So let me zoom out, zoom back in. This doesn't matter to me. It looks like his neighbor. I delete it out. I just like to keep things a little clean here. I'm going to delete this stuff out. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. The ones that you see the circle here, it believes it's tall enough to be a tree. Obviously, if you go to the site, you will see it, right? I'm going to delete these out. These looks like little bushes. The rest of it is okay. There's a tree here. It's fine, but you get the idea what that's going to look like. Now, why is that the area here? And that's basically because it has the drip line highlighted based on what it sees. Now, what we do is we go in and we're going to define the hardscape area. Remember, we have defined hardscape here, right? So I can click on it. I can use a polygon or rectangle. Polygon is the easier one. I'll select it. I basically click once. It probably goes up here. And remember, we can always go to the site, then come back behind our computer and define it, right? So we go here, we go here, we go here, and here. And basically now this is defining the driveway, right? So it says main hardscape and what I want to call it the driveway. So it basically puts the driveway in the picture. Let's go back up this way. This lawn, we're going to do it the other way around. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to use the lawn area, right? And I'm going to use a polygon because I can see is coming from here and here and here, and it's got a little curve here, and then there. And it's sometimes easier to draw it versus just simply selecting it. And I put this one as a backyard. Well, it's 978 square foot, right? So I can also do the same thing and define this hardscape area here. And, I'll move this out a little bit out of the way. I can basically then zoom out, zoom back in, and choose to simply go in and do the hardscape, define it further out. We define it here. We go by here, 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 and we basically trace it. You guys are, if you're in a business of architecture and design, you kind of know what, similar to AutoCAD or various other tools that you might be using. It's just a matter of tracing what you see and release. And that became the backyard. And highlight it and call it back patio. Okay. Now, if you click on any of these objects, it would tell you the object information, right? I clicked on this one. He knows it's a tree, right? He knows that it is estimating that's 20 feet tall, right? It might not be. It's trying to do recognition technology, right? I could go here and call this, and I don't know if it is or not, but maybe I go to the side and I call this an oak, right? Therefore, it becomes an oak, right? From that. I can even activate setbacks from this. I don't want anything to be touched around here. So all of these things are available within any of these objects, right? We'll talk about them in their own lessons, as it comes up. Now, this is a little bit more site plan-ish, right? Site plan information. Now, if I zoom back out, you notice that I've highlighted different areas. I have different aspects of it. So as this is saved, then you have the solar panels actually here is showing as well. Now, if I go and export this out as a PDF, you will notice that it will now have more on that PDF because at this point, I'm seeing more. I've highlighted more areas. I've marked more areas. I want to see that what I see is what I get in my reports, right? So in the site plan now, I'm looking at areas that are highlighted and I see it. And if you didn't want to highlight any of this, you don't see it. So let's take a look at the same plan. And on this plan, you will notice that more areas are highlighted from the one previously, right? This is as easy as it gets for you to define your site. Now, remember, you could have done this and exported it into an AutoCAD file. And when you do an AutoCAD file, then you can edit it, right, in AutoCAD. So that's as simple as it is. In the lessons that are coming up, we're going to develop some more stuff here, right? So on the next lesson, and so you go and check it out, Yeah, we are going to mark up some of the utility areas for here. That's one of the important parts of a site plan. So let's go to the next plan, and then we're going to see how that's going to work.